Hello everyone, Jerry Tabatt with you with another edition of our military community, and we have got a gentleman we're going to be talking to today that's well known in this community, who's had a great life not only in the military, but he's a music person, a singer, a songwriter, who's done all kinds of stuff, and he's going to tell us some people and places he's done some singing that's going to surprise you. So let's get right to it. I want to give a warm welcome to my guest today, Josephus Williams Jr. Josephus, thanks for coming in today. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, and thank you for inviting me.
All right, we got to find out a little bit about you. Tell me your background about where you grew up and your military career and all that.
Okay, I was the second baby born at Tyndall Air Force Base.
Wow.
I was born in 1944. And I gave a concert over there. And my mother, they had the doctor there that brought me into the world. His name was Dr. Jackson. And my mother kept remembering that guy's name. And when I gave the concert over there, they gave me a picture of them and everything, and myself and my mom. And it was really awesome. And I enjoyed that. And I cherish it right now today.
Early family life, Josephus, what was that like?
My mother was very strict and my father, they were very strict. We couldn't turn on English. We had to listen to Spanish.
Wow.
My mother didn't play. If we had on English, we got a paddle.
Well, if they wouldn't let you, if they wouldn't let you speak English, how did you learn that? Because conversing Spanish to English, sometimes that's difficult.
But my mother, she made sure that she say, this way you can make more money in life. And she told the truth.
Yeah. So you had a great family life, really.
Wonderful.
And you've been connected with the military your entire life.
Right.
Tell us about your military. What you did in the military and everything. Josephus.
Okay, I was a policeman in the Air Force, and when I became a policeman, and I enjoyed it very well, and my mother always said, "This is what you need to do in life, and you need to sing, because God gave you a voice, and you need to share it with the people." And by me working for Mahalia Jackson, she wanted me to make a CD an album, but no, I didn't want to do it. And then she dies, and that messed me up, right there.
And when did you retire from the Air Force?
Oh, when was that? 1963. Yes. I think it was 63.
Yes, you've had a good extensive career in the military and the background, family background, and everything. As a young boy, when you were just starting to grow up, Josephus, when did your interest in music really start?
It was Homer S. Jackson. He was the principal of Oscar Patterson School. Mm-hmm. And my father used to cut his hair. My father was a barber. And I used to go in there and shine shoes all the time. So Mr. Jackson told me, he says, "Josephus, you need to pursue your singing career." He said, "Because you got an awesome voice." He said, "Don't let nobody tell you that you don't."
And I've heard you sing many times too, but what type of music did you really get started in? Was it classical, gospel?
Opera.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Opera.
Yes. And we did the first, when the Civic Center was built, mm-hmm. The director was Samantha Edwards from Tallahassee, Florida. She graduated from Florida A&M. And we did the whole Messiah at the Civic Center. And I had the two solo parts, "Comfort Ye and Every Valley Shall Be Exalted." Those are my two solo.
Yeah.
And we did the whole Messiah.
And opera is great, but it's difficult. Was it difficult with your voice changing as you grow from a young boy to a young man to an adult?
Yes.
It's difficult, wasn't it?
It was difficult. It was difficult. But I kept on doing it. And I went to Miss Ann Devine, who lived in Indiana, and started taking voice lessons from her, because I was staying with my grandmother in Richmond, Indiana. And then I got me a job running the elevator in Indiana. And so I said, well, my grandmother said, I said, well, I think I'm gonna move to Chicago. She said, why you want to go to that big old city? I said, because maybe I can do things and make
Yeah.
my name a better than what it is now.
Right.
And she said, okay, if you want to go, some friends and I moved to Chicago. And we all put our little money together, we got a job. I was working at Nolenberg's before, and I left Nolenberg's and went to, I'm trying to think of the name of the restaurant that I worked at.
You're like me, but you worked at a restaurant there. But I do want to ask you one other thing, too. You actually sang in the Air Force choir.
Yes, I did.
Now, that's kind of an honor, Josephus,
It
because
is.
not everybody can get into that, and there's very
That's
few
true.
slots available. Tell us about your Air Force choir experience.
Well, I just loved that Air Force choir. It was just awesome. I just loved it. Loved it. Every time they wanted us to sing, we was right there. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that.
And didn't you tell me that when you're singing at the Air Force choir that you actually sang in front of some presidents?
Yes.
Tell me
Sure
about
did.
that experience.
Oh, no, that was awesome. Singing in front of President, President
Yeah, it'll come to you in a minute. but what-
Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
And plus, I shined President Kennedy shoes because the Air Force sent me there because when they did inspection, mine was the shiniest, and they had me do his shoes.
Wow. Now that's something else.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's
I enjoyed
something
it.
else right
It was
there.
so nice.
Now, when you were singing like that in the Air Force choir, did you ever have the opportunity to sing like with foreign leaders or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I went to Mexico, and I sung for the president over in Mexico, Lopez Portilla. He was the president, and I sung for him over there. Plus, I did the national anthem for the basketball team. They was in Mexico from the United States.
Yeah.
Then they asked me would I do the national anthem. I told them yes, I would.
Wow.
I should have brought those
that's
pictures.
amazing.
I should have brought those pictures.
That
You
is
would enjoy
amazing
it.
that you've gone through all this. Now, of course, when you left the Air Force, what was the thing that made you decide I want to stay with music a little bit? Why did you decide to do that?
My
Because
mother.
it's tough. Your mom.
My
The
mother.
encouragement of family again.
Yes, yes. My mother, she always encouraged us to try to do more better with what we are doing now. And she said, it'd be better for you to stay in your career singing. That's what she told me. And I've been doing it ever since.
And when you left the Air Force like that, did you concentrate on opera or did you gospel and opera?
I did all of
You
it.
did all kinds of.
All kinds of music.
When you were singing opera, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song was Comfort Ye from the Messiah. I love that song.
Wow, I get chills thinking about that.
Oh, I love it.
Now, starting out, Josephus, as a young man into opera like that, how has that changed today than from what it was
Back then.
back then?
Well, to me, I just do my singing because I like to sing to people to make them feel better. Music is an art, and you have to stick with it all the time.
Yeah,
There's no changing.
yeah. One thing that I would really like to know, and I'm sure the audience is interested in this too, is after you left the Air Force, you continued with your singing career.
Right.
But you couldn't just do that because let's face it, there's not a lot of money in that
No,
right now.
not
so
right
you
now.
had to work too. How did you balance work with your singing, and what kind of work were you doing at that time when you were just starting out?
Well, when I was just starting out, I worked at, I was with the Salvation Army, singing, ringing the bells on 23rd Street at Walmart.
Yeah.
And when we all got through, this gentleman came to me. He was the general manager at Walmart. His name was Tim Cobbs. He was the one that wanted me to work for Walmart after the bell ringing was over. And I've been working at Walmart ever since.
And by the way,
15 years total.
you go to the Callaway Walmart, and
Right.
Josephus is there. He's one of the greeters and everything. Been there many, many years.
Right.
But I know that as we go through life, times are rough at things, different emotional things come about, different changes in our life. How did that affect your music career as you started to grow up into adulthood when you saw like, oh, geez, there are some problems out there and everything? Did that really affect you, or did it actually give you added
It
impetus?
gave me more empathy to go forward, to do what I've been doing. And I
That's
was just interested in doing that to help other people, not just myself.
right. And knowing you all the years I have, that's what you do in this music for, because it makes you feel good and you're helping other
Yes,
people.
exactly.
Now, a lot of people are saying, okay, we know a little bit about you now. You're Air Force retired. You grew up with a very strict mom and dad
Yes, oh
who,
my
who
God.
could who couldn't speak, the Spanish and English together.
Nope,
And you sang opera. You were in the Air Force choir and all that. And you sang for some presidents,
a
President Kennedy. You
president.
shined his shoes. But people are interested now. They say, okay, Jerry, you told us that Josephus has been in this community a long time singing. Tell me about what kind of different venues and events you actually do here in the community. And I know you're still doing it.
Oh yeah, because well, niece and I sang for President Reagan, and we were at the Holiday Inn on the beach, and we did the dinner for the Republican Party, and we both sang the national anthem, niece and I.
That's amazing.
Let me tell you something. She has an awesome voice.
Yeah. What are some other things? I know I've seen you on TV, out and about. You said Salvation Army. Where are the other different places that you've been singing at?
Well, after I left Chicago, I was a policeman in Chicago. Okay, at the village of Rosemont, right by O'Hare Field. It's about 3 miles away. And I was shining shoes in the liquor store. And this man's name was Tony, and his father's name was, his son's name was Tony, and the father's name was Frank Caputo. They took an interest in me, and they're the ones that got me on the police force in Illinois. And we did 6 months police, 6 months fire. Then when the Secret Service men come, when the president is coming to that town, that they bring the dog to sniff all everywhere.
Right.
I was singing and watching the fire truck. Singing and watching the fire truck. And here come these dogs coming in. So the Secret Service man came in and asked me, he said, "Sir, would you like to sing for the president?" He said, "You got a gorgeous voice." I said, "Yes, sir, I sure. I'd never sung for a president before." So he says, "Well, you're gonna sing for this one."
Wow.
So he said, "I want you to go to the 10th floor at the Hyatt Regency Hotel and tell them that Agent Theo sent you." And I went over there at the 10th floor, and I started singing national anthem. They all started clapping from down below on the first floor,
Yeah.
and I was on 10th floor.
Yeah. To me, I've heard you sing that many times, and you do a great job with that. As you're singing that, like I say, I've known you for so many years now.
Right.
I can see the emotion in your face. If you don't mind, Josephus, tell our viewers, how does that make you feel when you're up there honoring this great nation of ours?
Oh, I just love the country, love our country. We have a great country, and everybody should appreciate our country because we have so much that everyone can offer
Right.
each other. And we live in a country, there's no other country like this country.
Right.
No other. I don't care what anybody say. I've been to many, many countries singing, but this is the greatest one of all.
And like I say, you have such a passion for that and everything.
I do. I love it.
Now, as you're continuing now into adulthood, like you did with your singing career, and now that you're like me, we're both getting up there. Let's put it
Right,
that way.
we are.
Do you still do as much in the local community as you used to do?
Yes. I'm with the Salvation Army Church, and we have some new core members now, and they are awesome. They're from Cuba. And I'm a dog greeter at our church. And the husband and the wife, the captain, we call them captain, well, they are wonderful people. They are so nice. Now, they're in Orlando going to the women's meet right now. So they told me, say, Josephus, you got to sing or lead a song or something. I said, okay, that's no problem. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind. He said, well, we just want them to call because you don't let anybody call you at the last minute, and I don't.
Right.
You should be on point and know what you're going to do when you're going to sing.
Yeah. Now, when you're asked to sing at a certain event, do you spend a lot of time preparing and practicing and everything?
Yes.
Let's say that in a military retirement ceremony, they asked you to sing like "God Bless America."
Right.
How long and what would the process be to get ready to do something like that, even though you've been singing all these years?
Okay. It takes me about, say, 30 minutes to 45 minutes to get myself ready. And I start singing the American or do the Star Spangled Banner or whatever they want me to do. It only take me about from 45 to 1 hour to get myself ready.
Wow. That's comes from a lot of practice.
Yes, it's a lot of practice.
Hey, here's an interesting question. You've been all around the world, actually, been to many different countries.
Right.
And you said your mom Spanish. You got in trouble if you didn't do the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever sung in Spanish?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that experience. I'm sure the people would like to know that too. Because
I've
to
done
me,
that.
I've listened to Spanish people singing now, and they're great. And I wish I understood the words. But what is the same emotion in there? And what's it like to sing in a different language?
Okay. I sing in Italian, Latin, French, Spanish, so many other languages that I can sing in. By me being an opera singer, that's where you learn it from. And a lot of people don't understand it, but that's where it comes from.
Wow. And the same emotions are there as if you was to sing it in English.
English,
So you could get
that's
up in
right.
front of a group, and if they said sing it in Spanish, they would have the same feeling.
Exactly.
And get the same. That's amazing.
It is, and I enjoy it.
That is absolutely
I
amazing.
enjoy it so well.
Do other people want to sing along with you?
Well, a lot of them want to, but my voice overpowers them.
Yeah.
That's the problem. My voice is so strong.
You kind of decided to make a little music, an album here locally, and it's not ready for release or anything like that yet. But when that gets, what in your late stage of your singing career now and everything, why did you decide now was the time, Josephus?
Because Nisi told me that I should do that because I'm getting older. So I made a CD for Christmas. And I've been selling it. It's been doing great.
Where can people get it?
Well, they can call me and get it from me.
Or go by the Callaway Walmart, and you're in there.
Yeah,
get it from there.
and I have it in my car.
Yeah, so that's great,
And I charge them $10. That's all I charge them.
And that barely covers the cost to make it.
That's true.
Anymore. Now, singing is a motivational factor for you. As you continue this, how does that continue to motivate you as you get older like I am now, and we all realize that, we're not going to be here forever?
Nope.
What does that make you feel like? Does this motivate you to do even more?
Yes. You hit it right on the head. It makes you want to do more. Because now I want to make an album at this age, 79. I'm almost 80. And I want to do more.
What about this album you want to make? What kind of music do you want to put on? You want to put opera? You want to put gospel?
I want to put all of it on there. That's what I want to do.
That is absolutely
because the
amazing.
people like it. Because the variety of things that you put on the album is better for the people.
Right.
Now I got singles and 45s. You know, that was way back then, them 45s.
Right.
And I did the national anthem and I did Trees on the other side of the
Wow.
record.
You know, just talking to you today, I see the smile on your face. Music is such a great, big part of your life.
It is.
And hopefully there's other people out there that want to get started too. You don't have to have a lot of money to get
Nope.
started in music.
Mm-mm.
So take some time and explain to us and tell us, Josephus, what advice today, with your great experience and everything, would you give to anyone that is thinking about pursuing a career in music?
Okay. This is what I would tell them. You need to focus on what kind of music that you want to sing. That's number one. See, because everybody can't do what somebody else does.
Right.
So you got to want to do what you want to do. That's going to keep your career going. See, some people like R&B, country music. Well, me, I like all of it.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to do the album coming up for next year. And
All right, so
I want the people to know that if they want to ask me any questions, they can call me and ask me any question.
And that's what's good about it. Now that, let's say I've decided to go ahead and do a career in music, what are some avenues? What information can I get from either direct contact with people or online or something like that will kind of guide me down a path to where I need to go and to keep me focused on what I'm trying to do?
Number one, take voice lessons.
Okay.
That's the number one key. Because let me tell you what happened to me. When I went to Indiana, the lady's name is Miss Ann Devine. I went to her to take voice. She said, "You don't need no voice lessons." That's what she told me. I said, "Why?" She said, "You already got it." I said, "But they tell me you're a good teacher, so I want to learn from you." She said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a few hours of my time." And I just enjoyed it. She was just a wonderful woman.
You got
just wonderful lady to take voice lessons from her.
You have to be willing to listen, and also, and maybe you can instill this in our young people that are just trying to get into music or whatever, is it's not going to be successful the day that you start. No. You've got to work hard. There's going to be some good times. There's going to be bad times. You're going to go forward 2 steps. You may go backward 3 steps.
That's right.
How do you work all of that together and say, okay, Mr. Williams told me this, this, or this. I'm going to follow that advice. What advice to keep them going?
The next thing to do, you talk to the man upstairs, God.
Yeah.
That's number one. Put him first in what you're going to do. I've always done that because my parents taught me that way. Mm-hmm. And I will continue to do that. And I would encourage anybody else to do the same thing. You put God first in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And he will make sure that you get it done. And this is what I believe, and it's always worked for me.
Right. Now, how do I actually decide what music do I want to sing? Do I want to sing country? Do I want to sing rock? Do I want to sing soul, R&B, opera? How, as a young person starting out, what advice can you give them to get them down to the path where they can actually pick the genre they want and pursue it?
Well, see, they got to know what they want to do. See, because me, I knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
I want to sing everything. And Mahaley told me, boy, let me put you on my label. And me, I said, no, I just want to work for you. I just worked for her at the house.
Right.
I cooked for her and I did everything for her. So I just tell people to do what they want to do in life to make their music good and people love them. But you got to put God first.
And you have to you've told me this several times we've talked. You have to be yourself.
Exactly.
You can't overnight
No.
turn yourself into an individual that all of a
Nope.
sudden, I know you as this one, but who is this? You can't do that.
No, you can't. You cannot.
And if you try to do that, your career is not that good.
No, that's right.
Wow.
That's
so
awesome.
so many different things. Now, over the years, Josephus, music has brought such joy to your life, such a sense of accomplishments and everything. How are you keeping that dream alive?
Oh, a lot of people ask me that all the time. I say, well, you know what I do? Number one, I put God first. And after I put God first, I pray to him about this. And God give me all the avenues that I need. And they can do the same thing like I'm doing.
Then it makes you feel good.
Yes, it does.
It makes you sleep good at night.
Yes, it does.
How much longer do you think you're going to continue this?
I want to keep it up as long as God keep me alive. As long as he keep me alive, I'm going to keep on doing it.
You're like me. The more active you stay, the better you feel about yourself.
Be busy, exactly.
Right? And don't sit back and say, "Oh, I'm 75,
right.
I'm 80 years old." It's
No,
all
no,
over.
no,
It's
no.
not all over.
No, it's not over.
And you're living proof of that.
Exactly.
We're starting to be close to running out of time here and everything.
Right.
But what I want to ask you, Josephus, you take a couple of minutes if you want to. Give us your final thoughts about your career in music and how it has changed your life.
Well, it changed my life a lot because number one, when you sing for the presidents, I'm going to tell you that they pay me 20 grand when I'm singing for a president. And I didn't ask them for that. They gave that to me. So I just thought that they figured that I was worth that much money. So
And
I'm going to enjoy it.
And you love to share that, don't you?
Yes, and I built my mother home.
You know, very quickly, how do kids respond to you? I mean, I'm talking little kids. How do
They see me all the time. They say, Mr. Joe, I want to be like you. I want to sing like you. I said, well, you need to take voice lessons. And number one, you don't forget to put that man upstairs first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you do when you pray about what you want to do. They ask me all the time every time the kids see me.
And like I said, I know you're like a brother to me.
Right.
And you're a big kid at heart yourself.
Yes,
aren't you?
I am.
You always got a smile on your face.
All the time. I have to.
All right, when we get all this information about the album and all that, I'll make sure that I put an update on this. And
Okay.
We'll get it out to everybody and everything. But Josephus, thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate it, my friend.
And I appreciate you inviting me.
Oh, you're most certainly welcome.
Really?
In. If they haven't seen you sing or heard you sing, they need to go there.
Right.
All right, we're about out of time here, folks. I could talk to Josephus all day long. A great gentleman who loves people. He loves his music, and he's who he is. He does not change for anybody. He stays himself. Unfortunately, what you see is what you get. I could have said that better myself. Unfortunately, we're about out of time here now. So for another edition completely in the books here for our military community, we'll be back next week with another good edition. We'll talk to some more people in this community as we continue to show what our military community is all about. Until next week, I'm Jerry Tabatt for our military community. Have a great day, everyone.